Full trick. Except once again you're in between me and my way out. And you have no weapon. Who makes all this?
I do. And I practice with them at least 3 hours a day.
You need to find yourself a girl, mate. Or perhaps the reason you practice 3 hours a day is because you've already found one, but are otherwise incapable of wooing said girl. You're not a eunuch, are you?
The reason I practice 3 hours a day is so when I find a pirate, I can kill it.
Alright, so this is the behind the scenes portion. I'm just going to show you what I had because well, you can see the clock. It's 10:43. I started working on this at 5:15. I didn't even stop for food. Didn't stop to make food. So I've been working on this. I have my cup of water here because I was trying to use the hydraulics, get the water in the tube going. But part of the problem I had was I tried to use hot glue, and that didn't work. I also tried to use duct tape. I tried to use super glue, and it was all to get this. The problem I had was all the hot glue that would go on this, it wouldn't stay. It wouldn't stay put because it's water resistant. So any cracks in it at all, the water would just go right through. And the super glue seems like it could have worked, but it's just too brittle. This tubing that I have is rubber. So part of the problem that I had was using these syringes. The syringes that I have were so small that any amount of pressure that was put into these tubes, it just wasn't nearly enough pressure to actually get the other side to move. But my plans, this actuator here, the way that I had it set up was supposed to move the cart back and forth. So the cart would move back and forth to where when they're sword fighting on it, and it would swivel around a little bit. And then I had this section under here. This actuator under here is to get it to move up and down, to get the cart to tilt. Is when one of them pushes up, it once it gets to its end, it'll stop or slow down, and the other one would push over. So that would get the disc to turn up a little bit, and the other one would get it to turn over. And then the bottom one pulls back, which gets it to turn more, and the other one goes around for the full circle. And you just have those interacting. Each one you have to control, so you get the speed right, and you can get it to rotate that way. But you need to have certain ends of them pivot. You need to have certain ends that are attached, so they won't move. They'll just turn a little bit. So you have it so the each of them is able to pivot. And so yeah, this is supposed to rotate. I was gonna have the it's the part where the sword fighting around, like the big rack of weapons, swords and such. But under here, I'll take this off. Under here is where you have the tubes. I use a Dremel tool. I have a Dremel tool down here. I use this sanding part of the Dremel tool to take out holes under here for where the tubes would go through. You can see the actuators going through there. That one I got to seal. It sealed decently, but it was still leaking water, and if it leaks water, it leaks air. So I tried to get the seal right on that. It still wasn't working right, though. Took out these holes with the Dremel tool, put that through there. I have it attached with a twist tie because it seemed like it would work decently. I just built this cart out of popsicle sticks. You have larger popsicle sticks on the bottom. So you just build a basic platform with that. You glue the wheels to the side, and I took these to cut them upright and layer them out so it just looks like a wooden cart. But yeah, and all the parts I was going to have, the tubes we're going to attach to the other part of the actuator under here, which we're going to be taped to this under part of the platform where you can pull them from the side without it looking like without them being mounted clearly up here. I mean, besides this. But beyond that, just used shoebox, cut one side of it out, and saw that these sides would fold out, so it made it kind of look like a stage. So I was going to use some spatulas, some metal utensils, so to hit them together for the sword sounds, the swords clashing. And I was going to add that in as an audio file. I'm using Lightworks as my program. So I have the file up here in Lightworks. I'm going to edit all of this video into it. But I just, with this problem, there's not much else I can do with the actuators being the way that they are. I should have used different tubing, different size actuators. But that's about it. Not much else to say, but I hope it's at least interesting.